for fundamental we have, right, about the automation, and we need to make sure we gonna follow these things throughout the our career as an automation tester. So what will be the first things? So the first thing will be launch the application, right? Launch the
Mhm.
application. When I say application, over here we are not focusing on the Selenium or not about the any particular tool, right? We says launch the application. It can be web application or Windows application, right?
Okay.
If you are working with the QTP, then we will have the Windows application, right? If you are working with the Selenium, we have the web-based application. Now the
Okay.
second thing, always remember this is very fundamental. If you want to automate any application, you should follow this for rule. That's it. First, launch the application. Second, locate the elements of application. If it is a web-based application, then it should be the web element, right? If it is
Mhm.
window-based, then it should be window elements. So what is the Windows web application and Windows application? Pushpa, do you have any
Uh,
idea?
Web application and window application.
Yeah,
Yeah, like these web application. I think these online websites है ना google.com ये सब. Yeah.
exactly. So whatever the application we can use on the browser via internet, that is called the web application. Now, what is
Okay.
Windows application? The application which we can configure in our computer, right? Which either we can use via internet or we can use locally itself, which is not which is dependent to the desktop itself. So that is called the Windows based application. So standard example of Windows based application, sometimes you install the WhatsApp, right? The WhatsApp on your computer. So that is called the Windows based application, where you have installed the WhatsApp, you got the shortcut of WhatsApp on your desktop, and you used to chat it. Now the same WhatsApp has the web based version as well, where you can directly access from the URL and you can chat with the people. Now, another Windows-based application is calculator. If you open the calculator, that means calculator does not require the internet, right? If you access the calculator from the computer itself, it will work. So that is again the part of the desktop-based
Mhm.
application. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. So now, first we have launched the application. Second, we have located the web element. Now, third, third we perform perform the actions on the application using elements, right? When I just perform action, that means you can do click, you can do enter text box, enter text, you can click on hyperlink, right? So these are the action you perform, right, on the application. And the fourth and most useful is that you verify or assert the result of the actions which you have performed, right? You can verify, you can send the expected outcome or expected output with the actual output, and you can compare, right? You can compare this information to validate, because at the end of the day you are doing the testing, right? So you need
Mhm.
to always validate the things. Automating the application is not the core purpose. The core purpose is that you are going to validate that particular things as well. So these are the four fundamental: launch, locate, perform, and verify and assert. Always remember these things. If it is a Windows based application, if you start working with the automation tester, right? It does not require if it is a Windows based application or the web based application. You should always follow this for fundamental. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, to achieve this, we have different tools in the market, right? To achieve this, we have different tools in the market. But I will not talk about that much depth about the tools, their benefits, their advantage. We will focus on the Selenium, right? And if you see the other tools that we can count as the QTP, test complete, sorry, complete. Then we have the SPA ALM system. So all those are the automation tool which help us to do the automation as well. But why we focus on the Selenium? Why we focus on the Selenium? Why people use the Selenium? The Selenium is open source, free to use, right? We do not
Mhm.
need to pay. We do not need to buy a license to use the Selenium. It supports all browser, right? It supports all browser. It also support almost all operating system, and it's also support, I would say, the browser and the operating system from the version side. Then it support number of programming languages. When I say programming language, that means Java, C Sharp, Python, right? All those are programming language. So Selenium support numbers of programming language. Then what else which make the Selenium is built? We have the Selenium which we can use for the web-based application. And this is also you can cut the limitation because you can also only use the Selenium for the web-based application. You cannot not automate Windows application using Selenium. So might be they will ask you, right? What is the limitation of the Selenium? So you can
Mhm.
explain like this way. You cannot automate the Windows-based application using the Selenium.
Mhm.
So Selenium is open source. It supports the different browsers. It supports the number of the programming language. So we have the programming flexibility as well. If your company is working on the C Sharp.net, you can use the C Sharp. If your company is working on the like the Java or Python or Ruby or something, you can access like that way.
Okay.
Okay. Now
Mhm.
Selenium, right? So what is the history of the Selenium? What is the history of the Selenium? Selenium has four parts, right? Selenium has four parts. Let me just tell you the family. I will say family of Selenium. Family of Selenium. So first we have Selenium IDE. Then second we have Selenium RC. This is deprecated.
ये क्या लिख
Selenium.
रहा हो? What is that?
Dep-
Deprecated from community.
that means nobody used this Selenium RC, right? Nobody
Okay.
uses Selenium IC because it was the part of the Selenium family, but due to lots of dependency on the server, right? For that, for the remote control, we need to download the even server files and all those things. So due to dependency on the server and the number of calls we need to make on the server, people have not used the have stopped using the Selenium RC, right? And
Okay.
that is also called the Selenium 1.
Mm.
And third things, Selenium WebDriver, which was launched to overcome the limitation of the Selenium RC, right? And nowadays, this is most popular, most popular. And the fourth one is Selenium Grid, Grid mostly used. for parallel testing, right? Parallel testing. People do the parallel testing using the Selenium grid. So these are the four main components: Selenium IDE, Selenium RC, Selenium WebDriver, and Selenium Grid, right? So you need to remember these things. Now we will go with one by one. We will first learn the Selenium IDE, right? Why the Selenium IDE is important, how the thing is work. So let me open the browser, right? Let me open the browser and I will show you how the Selenium IDEs work. So you can see this is my browser, right? You can see over here, you can see Selenium IDE. If I mouse over my mouse, there is a Selenium IDE. So first of all, in the initial stage, Selenium IDE was available only for the Firefox, but now it is available for the Chrome as well, right? So I will show you how to install the Selenium IDE. And Pushpa, what you need to do, the same steps you need to follow on your laptop. Okay?
Mm.
Not later, right now. Okay, once I
Oh,
will show you how to do that, you need to follow the same step on your laptop. You just minimize the my screen sharing and you can just open your browser, right? And you can just go to Google and just says Selenium IDE Chrome,
so you are
right?
doing this in what? Firefox? No, it's in
No, no,
Chrome. Okay.
I am doing on Chrome. So I want you to open the Chrome and do the same thing. Just search on the Google Selenium IDE Chrome extension.
हाँ extension tutorial नहीं क्या करना है इसका?
No, not tutorial. Just say Selenium IDE Chrome extension. You can see on the screen what I have written if you want to take a reference.
Yeah, it's there.
Okay, so you got the first link, says chrome.google.com detail and all those things. But just hold on. Let me just take. Okay, I think you can click on the first link, Selenium IDE and Google Chrome. Okay, so now this screen will come over there, Selenium ID, and you will have, instead of that remove from Chrome, you should have the button add to Chrome.
I'm just wait. Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah, so you got the option called add to Chrome.
Yes.
Yeah, just click on that.
Okay.
So it says again add or something like that. Just follow the steps and add that particular to your browser.
So it says Selenium ID has been added to Chrome.
Okay, so now if
So,
you see on the right side top, you can see the icon for Selenium ID.
yeah.
Yeah, right? So that is
Yeah.
how you can install the Selenium IDE, right? So what is the Selenium IDE now? The Selenium IDE is nothing, it's a first version of the Selenium, right? And it is a record and playback tool, right? It is a record and playback tool which is very useful because they have made the continuous changes. They have deprecated the Selenium RC, the remote control, but they have not deprecated the Selenium IDE. Why? Because people use the Selenium IDE. If you see the number of users, right, it's more than 3 lakhs over here, right? And it is very useful. If you are a learner, if you want to learn the Selenium, you should first use your hand on the Selenium IDE, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now I will click on this Selenium IDE, right? I will click on the Selenium ID. So I will get this screen. Now what you need to do, no need to follow the same step on your machine. First watch this one, and then you can do the testing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So now we have different options. It says record a new test in new project. open an existing project, create a new project, and close the Selenium IDE. So what I will do, I will just click on the create a new project, right?
Mm. Mm.
Okay. So it will ask me the project name. I will just say demo one. Demo one will be my project name. Now I'll say okay, right? So it opened this screen. You see, this is the screen of the Selenium IDE. I will show you how to use the different options. But over here, if you see, you can give the test case name, the different test case. So I will just say login test, right? I will just give the login test. By default, it comes as unified, but I will say login test. Now it says playback URL over here. So I need to enter the playback URL. That means base URL. If you remember the thumb rule of our automation, the four things. First, launch the application, right? Launch the application. Now let's see, it says I have one application with me. I will use this application for our training purpose. So I have this URL, right? I have this URL. I will launch this application. So it says record. You see start recording. So if I click on the start record, it will ask me the URL, which URL you need to replicate, which URL you need to be replicate for the Selenium.
Mhm.
So I will enter that URL. I will enter that URL and I will click on the start recording. So you see automatically launch that particular URL, right?
Mhm.
Now let me just do one thing. Let me just have this screen minimized. And these steps we will do over here. The few steps we will do. So now you see I resize this particular screen, right? I resize the launch URL screen and I will just show you. So you can see both the things, right? Over here it will record the step automatically because you have the recording is running. So now what I will do, I will click on the email ID. So you see it got click on the email ID. Now I will say it says admin PHP travel, right? I will just click on this admin PHP travel. So you see on the left side it says type name admin PHP travels. Now what will be the password? Demo admin. So what I will do, I will click on the password field. So you see it shows over here, it's click on the password field and I will just say demo admin, right? I will click on login button. It log into the dashboard. Now I will click on the modules just for the steps, just to associate the steps. I click on the modules and this screen will open up. Now what I will do, I will stop this particular recording. I stop the recording and now I will close this screen as well. So now you see these are the steps we got.
Mhm.
These are the steps we got. So it says first this base URL, you see, is automatically set the base URL and whatever the text coming after like slash admin, it will be open this one. It will set the window size. If you remember, I resize the window. Then it's click on the text box. The name is equal to email. So if you see the target name is equal to email, that is called the locate the element. You see, this
Mhm.
is how it locate the element. You need to send this particular information. Let me just remove this one because I think this is duplicated. So now what it did, it click on the email text box and it send type, it is typed this particular value to that particular text box, right?
Yes.
Now the third thing is he's doing is just clicking on the password one,
Mhm.
the password, right? So let me just remove this one. Sometimes you need to remove the extra one. So now it's click on the password name is equal to password and send the password. You see the password value over here. If you
Mhm.
want to see the locators for the password, you can see over here XPath, CSS selector, name, and all those things. So what is the XPath of this particular text? So you can see over here. Now it's click on the button block. So whatever the button block, it click on, or the button is equal to submit, right? Where button type is equal to submit, it click on the submit button, and it's go further. So these are the steps has been recorded using the Selenium IDE. Now I want to play the same steps again and see if it is working fine or not. So I will click on the run current test, right? I will click on the run current. Now once I will click, it will be do automatically. You see, it says preparing your test. But why it is just directly launching? Because we need to click on the logout first. Just hold on. Let me just try one more time. Okay. Now let me just click it again. Clear this log. Okay. Now you see it launched the application. Enter the username and password and click on the button. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And it's close the browser because I closed the browser as well. So these are the steps. You see everything is green. If you go over here in the log, it says open the browser, okay, size, email, anything, every that we find, click and login test successfully. Right? Now let's we do some changes over here.
So that it fails.
Exactly. So what I will do, I will just change the values over here. I will just say admin one, right? And now what I will do, I will run this code again. Run the current code. Sorry, again I need to click on the logout, and I will click on that. So it will launch the URL. It will launch the URL. Enter the our new. You see now it says admin underscore one, and the login is failed. So it will not go through the dashboard page and all those things. It perform few of the steps. It will not go further on that. So what it will do? You see at the over here, it's keep trying. It will try for certain time for the certain timeout. Then it will give the timeout exception. So you see all these steps are fine, but after entering the wrong username, the step is also okay, but the login person will not. It says implicit wait timeout after 3 seconds. So it says login ended with one error. So now if you can see the failure, and it says one test case done and one is failed. This case is not gone through. So this is how you can change the value as well. So this is very useful. You need to make sure you understand all these commands, the commands. If you I remove these types, right? If I remove these types, you can see there are number of commands over here. Assert text. Assert means you are validating the things, right? Assert means validating. But what is the difference between the assert and verification? Let's suppose if you have 10 test case, right? And in 10 test case you have put the verification in each and every test case, right? And you run that particular 10 test case in the one test suite. So now what will happen? If third or fourth test case will get failed in the verification, then system will not stop the overall execution. It will run other tests as well. But it will show as a result that that particular test case has been failed. But in the assert, when it's found something goes wrong or something has failed, it will abort. It will be stop the execution on that point itself. It won't execute other steps. Okay, so that is the key difference between the assert and verification. They both are used to validate the application, but sometimes they want to know what is the difference between the assert and verification. So you can explain like that way. During the verification, it will be lays down the easy errors. If you found some errors, it will not stop the execution. It will just not it record, just display in the console. But while the assert, it won't. It will give you the error and it will stop the execution straight away. Okay. So you can see the command, different command. It says click command. We have click command over here. We have close browser over here. We have do everything. Now in the target, you can see the elements, right? So what we are doing over here, let me just first put the type over here. So if you remember from our key fundamental, we first launch the application, we open the application, then we locate the element, right? We need to perform the any action, we need to first locate it. So we locate the element, then we send the information, we perform the action. Because it is a text box, we can send the text to the text box. If it is a button, we can click on the button, right? So this is how you can record the test case and you can play back it. So now let's we go with the another test. I will just test. I will click on the plus sign. I will say Google test. Let's we go with the Google test. Right? I will just say Google. So now what we need to do? I need to change this base URL. Right? I want to make it as the Google one. So what I will do? I will just take the URL from the Google. So I will take this URL. Right? I will take this URL. So now I will change. I want to change this particular URL. So when I say record, it's ask me for the URL. Please, you must be enter the valid URL. So I will just enter this google.com. You see, now if I will launch, it will record each and every steps. If I maximize the screen, it will also record that particular action. So I will click on the start recording. You see, as of now, we do not have the screen in the maximize mode. So I will click on this maximize button. So now it's open the google.com. Now what I will do, I will just say SLT learning and I will hit enter. I will hit enter, right? So it says okay, this one. Now what I will do, I will go to bottom and I will just click on this first link. I will click on this first link, right? So we will come over here. This is the screen. Now if I go and see the recording, it's recording all the steps, you see. So what I will do, I will just stop now. Okay, I will just stop now. So you see, it's open the google.com, it set the window size, it maximize the window size, it click on the search button, right? It click on the search button, then it's type SLT learning on the search, then click on the key enter. So I click on the, I hit the enter key, right? So it says you enter the key, then it's click on the first child, whatever the search result come, it click on the first one, right? And just mouse over and mouse out, right? So these are the steps. Now what we will do, let's we follow these steps, let's we run this one. And now let me do the text execution time. I will just make it slow. So over here you can also slow down your test execution. Sometimes if you have a good internet speed, right, it will go very quickly. So you can adjust the time, the speed of the execution from over here. Now let me click on this one. So you see it will open, and now it will open the google.com. It says SLT learning. It will hit enter. It will select the first one and it will come to this page. So this is we can call the first steps in the automation. Pushpa, this is the first steps in the automation, right? Now I am taking small scenario, but in the real time example, let's suppose if somebody give you the application, right, and you need to test the application, the add new customer functionality. So what you can do, you provide the information and you just start entering the information on that particular. You can just, and always make sure when you use the Selenium IDE, use the keyboard click and the sorry, mouse click and the keyboard information, right? Never use tab or something like that, because you need to record each and every steps you perform on the web page. Then and then you will see the proper information over here. Never use the shortcut of the keywords. Always take your mouse to that particular location, make click on that, then perform the action. Okay. Perfect.
Okay. So in this command, do I
Yeah.
need to remember about all the commands? what should I do? This
No,
under
this command, this command, you no need to do, remember all those things. But what I want you to do, right? Understand this one as well, right? Why it
Okay.
says name is equal to q? Let me just tell you one practical example. It says name is equal to q, target is name is equal to q. Now let
Mm.
me again go to this one, google.com, right? This is a web, let's assume this is a web-based application, right?
Mm.
This is a web-based application. Now, what are the web elements? If you remember the second part about the automation thumb rule, we need to locate the web element. So, what are the web element available on this particular web application? Can you just give me? Can you just tell me the list? I will list it down. What are the web element available
Oh,
on this particular simple Google page? What are the web element available? Let me give you
no,
the hint. Let me give you
no,
the hint.
simple link google.com, then enter.
No, no, no. I
Uh,
want the web element. Google.com is the base URL, right? It's the application
yeah.
URL. Google.com is the application URL. What are the web element? Right? So what is called the web elements? Pushpam. The web
Mm.
elements are the elements available on the web page. So let me just give you the hint. I can say, okay, this Google logo is available on this page, right? This
Mm-hmm.
is the Google logo. If you right click, it says save as image. That means the Google logo. So that is called the web element. This is the
Got it.
element available on the web page. So I will just
Mm-hmm.
say Google logo. Now you tell me what are the other?
This this Google search tab. I'm feeding the key.
Exactly, exactly. So I will
Tab,
say search box. Search
search box.
box, right? Okay.
Mm.
Then
Then you have this recording part two,
yeah,
I think. No?
yeah, recording icon.
Mm.
Then
Search box. Oh, you have written that search box recording icon.
yeah,
Then we have this Google search. Something. Okay, that's it now.
yeah. No, no, no. We have that things. You see, this is Google
Search.
search.
Google search.
Yeah.
Google search.
So
I'm
we
feeding the
have. So I will consider this as a button, right?
yeah
Or
tab
you can,
tab.
yeah.
Yeah,
No, no. This is a button or the link. So I will say Google search button.
button.
Collect
Okay.
switches button, right? Then
Mm.
I am feeling.
The key.
Sorry, that button, right? Then
Mm.
what else we have on this web page?
Mm. I can see those, but I don't think we need to that language thing. We need to
No,
test
no,
that
no.
too.
But
Huh?
no, no need to test. But I want you to understand what is called the web element. Yeah, you can
Element.
also
Okay. Mm.
consider the Hindi language
Yeah.
link, right?
Mm. Uh-huh.
English language link. Then again, you have on the top. You say you have Gmail and
Gmail and
image link.
images. Uh.
Yeah,
Means whatever I see on the page, those are web element.
exactly. Those are the
Mm.
web element. You can also consider this privacy term and setting, right at the bottom, right
Mm.
side bottom, privacy terms and settings, privacy. These all are the links. Privacy terms link, settings link. So what you can have on the web page, you either have the logo image, right? Either you have the text box, you
Mm-hmm.
have the drop down, you have the checkbox, you have radio button, you have the simple button, you have the links, right? So these are the web element. These are the common web element you can see on any application, right?
Uh,
Yeah. If you want to build a web page using the HTML, then these are the most of the things you can use, right?
uh,
Logo.
which one you call radio button? किसको बोल रहे हो?
Sorry.
Which one did you call radio button?
Radio button, if you have seen in any form, right? This is a general term. This is not available on this google.com. This is a general. Now, what is radio button? So, if you remember the radio button, like, let me just show you the example. Sometimes, if you remember, when we enter any form, there is a
Oh, yeah,
gender
yeah.
column. There is gender column, right? So, gender column says male or female. Male or so radio
Yeah, drop
button.
down. Where? Okay.
No, not a drop down. Drop down is
Mm,
totally different. But this is
mm,
a radio button. It won't allow you to select the multiple value, right?
okay,
So
okay.
that
Yeah,
is, yeah, that is also one of the, you can say, web element for the web page. Okay,
yeah, yeah.
perfect. Now let me just tell you one more thing. Okay, so you see, this is the tags. This is the tags you need to learn to. These are not all the tags. Just learn basic of them. This is very useful.
Where was
Okay,
this? Hold on,
I
hold on,
will
hold on.
I will
Huh?
share this link with you.
Okay, okay.
Okay, I will share this link with you. So it will be helpful. You said the link. So how the link tag work in the HTML? So you can
Mm,
click on the try yourself. So you can see what is link. So it says me too, hello brother, me too. This is link tags. Then what else we have? We can go to this. You can just say input tag means text box.
mm,
So you can say first name, says first name label, then input type is equal to text. Okay, so you just learn because in the web-based application, these are the technology, the HTML, CSS. These are the technology we who build the web page, right? Which used to build the web page.
yeah.
Any web page is use the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and all those things. So
Mm,
you need to learn bit of the HTML, not in depth, but you need to be make sure what is called the tags, what is called the attribute, what is called the attribute value. So over here, whatever they come after this particular bracket, which become the tag in the HTML. So over here we have input tag, we have form tag, we have h1 tag. Then what are the attributes? We have type, ID, and name. These are the attributes, and we have the value of those attribute: text, fname, fname, right? So these are the value of that attribute,
mm,
right? So you need to learn these things. It will be
okay.
very useful in next in the next session. We will learn the Selenium WebDriver, right? So as of now we have just gone through the basic about the automation, right? Because you already have the experience. So most of the times they not ask you why we need the automation, because everybody know automation is very useful. It is very time saving, and it give the good coverage of the test case. Sometimes if you do the repeated task by the human, it may be possible we get the lots of error or lots of like the mistakes we do. But in the machine, like if you write the Selenium script or if you write the script in the automation, there is no chance to make the such errors, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's the reason we use the automation. And then we learn about the different tools, like we have Selenium qtb on the market, we have test complete. Why we focus on the Selenium? Because the Selenium is open source and it is free of cost. It supports very vast browsers, it supports the different operating systems, it supports the very different programming language, so we can write the programs on the Selenium using in the
Mm,
Selenium WebDriver. Then we go through the Selenium IDE, how to install the Selenium IDE, how to perform the test in the Selenium IDE, right? We run the
mm.
couple of tests. So all those things you need to remember.
Okay. So
Okay?
while running the test, two test cases failed, right? So are you going to tell me like what we will do after that? Once the test cases failed, do we need to log in? Not log in. Do we need to
No, no. So now
notify
let
somewhere? Huh?
no. Let me tell you. So let's suppose you run this particular test case and it is failed, right? So if it is failed, then you definitely have some message, error message or something like that. But
Hmm.
you never, in the automation, you never run the test case on the Selenium IDE. When we go with the Selenium WebDriver, so what most of the time we do, whenever the test case is failed, we take a screenshot of that particular screen and we store the screenshot.
Acha. Okay.
Yeah. Right, and we also use the test ng. So in the test ng, you will get the proper report. If you run the 10 test case, if out of 10, let's suppose 4 test case failed, then in the Selenium WebDriver using the test ng, you can bifurcate those test case and what are the problem in that. And the
So
test
you are
ng,
going to show me that, or like,
no, no,
are we going
I
to cover that? No.
no, no,
Huh?
not in this session. I want you to first understand this concept, right? This is the first batch, first session. Just go through this one. What is the basic steps? Now,
That is fine, but later. I'm saying that later we will
yeah,
go through all the Pura life cycle, right?
exactly. We will go
Okay.
with the
Okay.
Selenium WebDriver. We will go with the test ng. We will go with the Maven as well. I will show you how to create the Maven project. But I will go you step by step, so it will be help you to learning. And sometimes if I jump into the advanced topic, it won't make sense to you, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's the
yeah.
reason. Yeah.
Okay,
So
that's
that's
fine. Yeah.
okay. So Pushpam, so what we are going to do, we are going to end the meeting over here.